Opening shot. You sitting at your desk with a coffee. Peaceful morning light coming through the window. Soft background show comparison between gross and net income on screen. For example, let's say your salary is $3,000. After taxes, health insurance, maybe a retirement contribution, you only receive $2,350. That's a huge difference. And if you build your spending plan on $3,000, you're already $650 off before the month even starts. Switch to spreadsheet or notes app where you write real income strew you what's actually in your account. Personally, I take 2 minutes to open my banking app and confirm the exact amount deposited. Then I write it down in my monthly budget tracker. I also check for any mistakes. Yes, even employers and banks make errors sometimes. Optional tip: overlay a quick checklist on screen. Check net income. Confirm deposit, look for errors. Whether you're getting a regular paycheck, freelance payments, or side hustle money, treat every dollar with respect. Clarity is power. When you know exactly what you're working with, every decision that follows becomes easier and smarter. Transition visual: you closing the banking app and opening your budget file. Step 1. Done. You now have the right number. Let's move to Step 2. How to break that money down and make it work for you before you accidentally spend it all. Now that we know exactly how much we got paid, it's time for Step 2. Budget and allocate. This is where you give every dollar a job. Before it gets a chance to disappear. And trust me, if you don't assign your money a purpose, it'll find its own way to vanish. Cut to a simple 50-30-20 budget rule graphic. One of my favorite methods is the 50-30-20 rule. Here's how it works. 50% goes to essentials: rent, groceries, utilities, transportation. 30% goes to wants: dining out, shopping, entertainment. 20% goes to savings or debt payments, building your future or cleaning up the past. Visual: you dragging income amounts into categories on your screen. Let's say you received $2,000 after taxes. That means $1,000 goes to essentials $600, for wants $400, toward savings or debt. Simple, clear, and flexible. You can adjust these percentages based on your goals, but this structure gives you a great starting point. Cut to you making adjustments on a spreadsheet, typing in real numbers. Personally, I adjust my budget a little every month. If I have a big event coming up or a surprise bill, I move things around. That's the beauty of budgeting. It's not about restriction, it's about awareness. You're in control. Show a sticky note or pop-up text on screen. Budget, freedom, not limitation. This step only takes me about 5 to 10 minutes, but it gives me complete clarity for the rest of the month. No guilt when I spend, no anxiety when bills are due, because everything has already been planned. Transition shot: you smiling, closing the budget tab. With our money now allocated, we're ready for the real magic: automating and growing it. Let's move to Step 3. Automate and save like a pro. Step 3 is one of the most powerful habits you can build with your money. Automation. Once I've budgeted my paycheck, I don't rely on willpower to stick to the plan. I let my systems do the work. Cut to screen recording of bank app or budgeting app. Setting up an automatic transfer. Every payday, I automate key transfers. A portion goes straight into my savings account. Another goes to my investment account and my bills, scheduled and paid automatically. This way, I'm hitting my financial goals without having to think about it every week. Show a notification. Automatic transfer, $200. Savings. Even if it's just $50 or $100 per paycheck, Consistency beats perfection. The goal is to build the habit, and automation makes it almost effortless. Cut to you relaxing, enjoying coffee, smiling. Automating your money removes stress, saves time, and protects you from impulse decisions. It turns your financial goals into something that happens in the background, quietly but powerfully. Visual, calendar, or phone reminder with Payday, Seekers, Automate, written. Remember, if you don't move your money with intention, it'll disappear with emotion. Transition music begins. With automation in place, let's move to the final step, reviewing and reflecting to stay on track. The final step of my payday. Routine is simple, but powerful. Track and reflect. Once everything is budgeted and automated, I take just a few minutes to check in with my goals and spending habits. Cut to screen showing a tracker or graph with monthly spending and savings progress. I look back at the past couple of weeks and ask myself, did I stick to my budget? Did I overspend anywhere? Are my savings and investments on track? Visual, you writing in a notebook or updating a digital planner. This isn't about guilt or judgment. It's about learning. If I went over in one category, I ask why. Was it a one-time event? A habit I need to adjust? The goal is to stay aware and make smarter choices next time. Overlay text, awareness, see control. I also take a moment to celebrate wins, even small ones. Paid off a credit card, stuck to your grocery budget, saved an extra $20. That's progress. Visual, you smiling, closing your laptop. Remember, financial success isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent, reflective, and intentional. This step keeps you in control of your money, instead of wondering where it went. Closing transition begins. And that's my full payday routine. Try it for 1 month. You might be surprised how powerful it really is. Visual, a lively room, maybe a college classroom, office break room, or a cafe table. A group of 4 to 5 people is laughing loudly, but their laughter feels mocking. They're gossiping, judging someone who's not there. One person in the group, your main character, sits quietly. Their expression is uncomfortable. They fake a smile but clearly don't belong. They try to speak, but someone cuts them off or mocks them. The laughter continues, but it's hollow. Voice over, calm and observant. Sometimes the loudest room is the emptiest one. You sit with people, but you feel alone. You try to belong, but deep down, you know, this isn't your place. Visual, close-up on your character's face. The fake smile fades. Their eyes scan the group, the drama, the negativity, the need to fit in. Slowly, their face becomes calm, resolved. Voiceover, rising strength. You realize something powerful. You don't have to shrink to fit into small circles. You don't have to stay where you're only accepted when you're silent or fake. Visual, your character stands up quietly. The group looks at them in confusion, maybe with a smug smile expecting them to stay. But they don't. They pick up their bag, walk away slowly. The group fades behind them. No drama, no anger, just peace. Voiceover, inspired tone. Walking away doesn't mean weakness. It means strength. The kind of strength that no longer begs to belong because it has already chosen peace. Visual, outside now. Your character walks alone down a street, through a park, or into a library or studio space. The world is quieter. Their face is calm. They take a deep breath, the kind that says, finally. Voiceover, conclusion. When? You stop caring about fitting in with the wrong people. You make room for the right ones to find you. You become powerful when you stop chasing fake acceptance and start standing in your truth. Visual, a small room or workspace. It's quiet, One person is working passionately, maybe painting, writing, recording music, practicing a sport, or coding. They're fully focused. Cut to a flashback. Voices. In the background laughing, saying things like, "You'll never make it. That's a waste of time. Be realistic." Voiceover. Reflective. They told you your dreams were too big, too unrealistic, too different, and for a while, you believed them. Visual. Back to the present. The person ignores their phone lighting up with messages and continues working. Their hands are steady, determined. Voiceover. Stronger. But something changed. You stopped caring about their opinions and started believing in your vision, quietly, consistently, day by day. Visual. Slow motion shots of them improving. The painting is looking better. The workout is stronger. The music is flowing. They're growing. Voiceover. Uplifting. When you stop caring about their judgment, your growth becomes unstoppable. Not loud, not flashy, but real. Visual. They smile, not for the camera, not for praise, but because they feel proud. Finally. Voiceover. Final line. You become powerful when you stop caring who's watching and just do the work. In silence. In truth. In purpose. Visual. A person sitting alone on a bench after a job interview or relationship breakup. They hold a letter or scroll through a message on their phone that says, "We're sorry," or "It's over." Their face shows pain, disappointment, maybe even tears. They lower their head. Silence. Voiceover. Gentle and honest. Rejection hurts. It feels personal, like you're not enough, like you've failed. Visual. The person takes a deep breath, wipes away a tear, looks at their reflection in a window or mirror. Slowly, they stand tall. Voiceover, growing strength. But then you realize, being rejected doesn't define you. It redirects you. It frees you to choose yourself. Visual. They change clothes, start working on something new, reading, creating, applying again, smiling with quiet confidence. Voiceover. Final line. You become powerful when you stop caring who didn't choose you and start becoming someone you would never reject. A me